Hey guys, I'm Travis at One Up Adventures, and I wanted to show you guys the Fly Products Flash Cruiser Trike. Specifically, I wanted to show you guys how we travel with it, how compact it is, how easily it folds up. So we're going to take it out of the RV, we're going to bring it inside into the air conditioning because it's about 90 out, and we're going to go ahead and show you guys how it sets up, and then we're going to put the motor on it and show you guys how easy it is to get this thing set up to fly. So, this is our 26-foot 2005 RV, also known as Old Dirty. Ask us about that sometime if you meet us. Here's a lot of stories. We've got a small storage bay underneath the RV. It's not huge, but we often travel. We do training on the road, so we'll put the trike, we'll put several motors in here, and we can usually get about 5 to 8 wings along with some other stuff. So right now, we've just got the trike. So I'm gonna go ahead and pull it out. It's all folded up right now. Oh, it's snagged. There we go. And I'm doing this by myself, which is easily done, but if you have a helper, and Kyle's behind the camera, so he's not available, it's a little bit easier. So there we go. This is the Fly Products Flash Cruiser Trike, and this is in the tandem configuration right now, so it has everything on it ready to go fly tandem. So let's go inside and put it together. All right, I would guess that this trike weighs about 40 to 45 pounds, set up for tandem. So it's got both the pilot and the passenger harness. It also has the extra fork kit for the passenger's feet. And we also have the instrument panel up top. And there's actually more than just an instrument panel. I'm going to show you guys what that is, and we'll talk about it, but it also acts as support for the A-assist and also extra roll cage protection. We're going to show you how easily this trike sets up ready to go to fly tandem. The trike does come with a very large Velcro strap. That strap is just to hold everything together. So as you saw, as I put it in and out of the RV, everything stays together. And we usually just take the strap and put it in the side pockets on the pilot's seat of the trike. So after you take the strap off, we're going to take the wheels out. They're just underneath. All right, so we've got the wheels out just a little bit, and now we're going to set up the main frame of the trike. So with the strap off, it's really easy. We're just going to lift up the roll bar as far as it will go. We're going to get underneath, and we're going to grab this vertical part of the frame, and we're going to lift it up all the way to here. Now, these two pieces go together via a bolt that goes through here and through the main frame. And you don't need any special tools, which is really neat about this. We can just use our fingers, slide this out. We're going to drop this into place so it lines up with the holes. Put the bolt back through. And then, again, no tools, we're just going to hand tighten this. All right, now we need to get the wheels all the way out. So I'm going to take these supports like this. I'm going to step on them, on these two cables. I'm going to lift up and over, and then this cable here, it slides underneath this small catch underneath the frame. All right, and that just kind of keeps everything in place. So I can let go. We've got two cables that we need to put on. The right side cable, which connects via an easy push pin right here. And that's it. We're going to stick it right over that. You can see how this tensions the cable. Now these cables are all adjustable, so if over time they start to get a little loose, there are turnbuckles, so you can adjust the tension on these cables. So we've got one more step, and that is to bring up the instrument panel. This just folds up into place. It's got a Velcro strap, wraps around, goes through a metal ring, wraps back around, and Velcros, and we're going to do the same thing on the other side. This is called the instrument panel, but this also serves a purpose. This is where our A-assist are attached, so these can attach to the risers of the glider. You can put instrumentation on here if you choose to do so. And it also provides a little bit of an extra roll cage. All right guys, one thing we need to do before we mount the motor to the trike is take these two frame support pieces off. And the last piece that you need to loosen, but you don't need to take off completely, is this retainer on top. So again, you can use your fingers underneath. Right now it's already loose from when we took the motor off, so there's nothing that we need to do. And we'll go over that again once we get the motor back onto the trike. All right guys, we've got the Fly Products Rider Moster 185. This is the motor that Kyle's been foot launching for the last several months, but it's also the motor that we've been using on the trike. But right now it's in foot launch mode, and I want to show you guys how easy it is to get it ready to put on the trike. So the big thing that we need to do, of course, is to remove the harness. So very simple. First thing we're going to do is remove the swing arms, which is just a matter of a pin. Pull the pin out, slide the swing arm off, and we're going to put the pin back in so that we don't lose it. Go over to the other side. Now we're going to go down here. There's two quick release buckles on each side of the harness down bottom. We're going to undo those. And also remove the pull start retainer bungee from the harness. And then lastly, we're going to take the harness off completely by pulling this pin here. We're going to leave it in our hand so we don't lose it. We're going to slide the harness off, and that's it. Harness is off the motor, and we are ready to mount the motor to the trike. All right, so everything's off the motor. The harness is on its own. We're ready to mount it, but you can do this all by yourself fairly easily. This motor's not too heavy. And we are going to hang it right there. All right, so the motor is suspended on the frame of the trike, and those frame retaining plastic pieces that we removed earlier, we're going to put those on first, and we do need some tools for that. The Fly Products motors all come with a tool kit, so you've got everything you need to do this. Slide it in place. Actually, let me get the bolt through first, partially. Get it through here. There we go. We'll hand tighten this, put our Allen in, and we have one more retainer. We showed you guys this earlier, it was already loose. So we're just going to slide this piece over the top of the frame. We're going to tighten this up. Manual start bungee that we removed from the harness. We don't want this going through the prop, right? So we're going to connect this to the pilot's harness. These are tensioners or stiffeners for the cage. Now you guys see we have a single hoop cage on this unit. If you're going to be using a motor for flying trike fairly often, we do highly recommend the double hoop option. We're going to run this around the cage. We're going to use this inside piece because we don't want it around the outside of the cage where it can catch lines or whatever. We're going to run it through the buckle once, twice, and then we're going to run it back through itself a third time through the buckle, so there's no way that that can come through the buckle. Then you've got a really simple tensioner right here. Right now it's loose. We're just going to pull this. You don't need to overdo it at all. You can see this cage is very stiff on this side. There's no way that's going anywhere. Even with a big tandem glider, even at full power, that cage is not going to flex into the prop. We're going to go and do the same thing on the other side. One more thing, this will just take a second. The cage, because we've been using it for foot launch, does not have line hangers on it. So Fly Products with the trike includes these really effective, really simple line hangers, and they just Velcro on. Believe it or not, they work great. So we are just going to Velcro those on there. Of course, your lines would hang through that. All right, guys, a couple features about the trike. This one is set up for tandem, but this trike can also be flown solo. The passenger harness easily comes out with a couple of clips from the trike. To be honest with you, when I fly the trike solo or Kyle flies it solo, we just leave it in, but so it's not blocking our view in any way. We just unclip it from up here and let it hang down, and that way it's out of the way, but it stays with the trike and it's not a problem. This is also, as the pilot, how we get in the trike. We unclip that, we climb in from the front, we get clipped in and back, and then bring our passenger in. I wanted to show you the hang point, so you do have to make some changes if you're flying it solo. The forward position, as always, is going to be for flying tandem, and then if you want to fly solo, you can move the hang point around this piece here, and same on the right-hand side. Some things that we really like about this trike. The instrument panel that you see here, some guys like this, some guys don't. It is an option. If you want A assists, this is the way that Fly Products has designed the unit. It does provide roll cage protection as well. It is set up high enough so it's not in your line of sight. What we also like is for the passenger, it's very comfortable. The seat is great, and they've got a level of protection that some trikes don't have. You've got the nice roll cage. They've got a good place up here so they can rest their feet. It's way out front, so even if they're heavy with their feet, it really doesn't affect the pilot's ability to steer the trike because the pilot has a lot more leverage than the passenger's feet do up here. Of course, it comes with a built-in fender, so your passenger's not going to get wet and muddy if you're taking off in the wet grass in the morning. The trike also comes with a built-in reserve pocket. So there you go, underneath the pilot seat, you do have the option of a reserve on the trike. And you've also had some really big pockets here on the pilot seat on both sides. And then underneath the trike, there's another big pocket. You can see the zipper, I think, only on the other side. But there's another big pocket, so if you wanted to do like any kind of paracamping or whatever and fly this trike solo, obviously you could fill up this passenger seat full of your gear, bungee it down, you've got more gear, you could fit a tent or a sleeping bag underneath, food, whatever else you would need. The other thing that, I mean, besides the fact that this trike is really portable and it breaks down very quickly, it fits into very small places along with the motor, just the fact that there's some days that we want a foot launch and there's some days that we want a trike. And having a system where you can, within 2 minutes, remove the motor and have the harness on the motor to foot launch on that day, or reverse the process and put it on a trike. And not only solo trike, but you can tandem trike too if you have the proper exemption from the FAA. So I think it's a really neat aspect of this system. There's a lot of things that you can do with it. Paracamping, tandem flying, solo flying, or foot launching, whatever you desire to do on that particular day. Hey guys, one thing I forgot to mention. You see this bracket here on the main frame of the trike? This bracket was actually designed for another fuel tank. Now presently, the trike has, or the motor has a 3-gallon fuel tank. So in the US, you could add another 2-gallon fuel tank and still be Part 103 legal, and you can use this for that tank. Guys, another feature that we really like about the trike is it's got a very low center of gravity and it's got a very wide wheelbase. Of course, the advantage of that is rollover stability, or prevention of rollover. Even with the wide wheelbase, the trike still fits in the back of my Nissan midsize pickup truck, no problem at all. With no special tools, I can do it myself. I will say that we actually have rolled this trike one time on a tandem on a windier day up in Michigan. There was some wind and some pilot error involved, but we were actually really impressed. Nobody got hurt. It just turned into one of those occasions where we all had to get the cameras out and video the guys that were kind of stuck sideways in the trike and laugh at them for a while. But what was really neat is nobody got hurt in the trike. It was during landing. And also, this is the trike that rolled over. And as you can see, we had a big passenger and nothing got damaged. The cage didn't get damaged, and neither did any of the components of the trike. So it's quite rugged, and that was impressive to us to see that.